Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 opening keynote for the Growth Club Summit. This is hosted by the firm and powered and backed by Intuit QuickBooks. Super excited to welcome Jared Brintz today. We're going to jump into our opening keynote. Jared, I'll introduce you in just a moment, but I'll just give everyone a little bit of the housekeeping. If this is your first session, jump into the chat. Let me know you can hear and see everything okay. You can see my screen. You can see the slides. You can hear and see us all okay. The Growth Club Summit is where you come to learn about workflow, AI, compliance, productivity, and all the amazing things going on in the accounting industry. I'm super excited to jump in with Jared today, where we are going to explore the human side behind AI and making sure we maintain that connection. Jared is representing the Intuit team today and holds a senior role. I'm going to let Jared tell you a bit about himself in just a moment. A little bit of housekeeping just to keep things flowing in the right direction. All of our sessions are being recorded and transcribed by the team at Vinyl. What does that mean? It means you get access to all the transcriptions of every session so that you can get further insights into and unlock more value out of every session that you attend. There is one CPD point available on all of our sessions thanks to the team at AccrediWise. We'll be able to run through how to get access to that and verify that after the summit. And my third and final point here is that you have a chance to win up to $500. All you need to do is share your best moment online. Jump on LinkedIn right now. You can take a photo, take a selfie. You can tell us what you're doing and what you're doing on the summit today. Just tag the firm, use the hashtag Growth Club, and you're going to go in the draw to win $500 worth of gift cards. You've all been very active with that, and that's been great to see. So you can continue on in day 2. That would be very, very cool. Last but not least, huge thank you to our partners, in particular the team at Intuit, for their support of the Growth Club. We couldn't run these events without support like this. So I recommend, if you're not, check out what the wonderful team at Intuit are doing, as well as the other partners we've got on the summit. So hopefully you've seen some of their sessions, and we've got more of those sessions coming up today. But our opening keynote, and I'm going to hand over to Jared now, Senior Marketing Manager here at Intuit. AI plus human touch, how to balance tech and relationships in your firm. Jared, how are you? I'm going to throw it over to you. How are you going today? How's your morning been?
All right. Thank you so much, Trent. I am super excited to be here with you guys and really appreciate the introduction. Gonna take you guys through what is on the tip of everybody's tongue, on the top of everybody's mind, as AI and how it's disrupting our lives and what does it mean for us, how we can apply AI to enhance our everyday lives and our work, and also a little glimpse at what's coming in the future. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm really excited to be here with you guys. So let me go ahead and share my screen and get things kicked off here. All right, I hope you guys can see my slides. Yeah, great to be here, like I mentioned. We do these sessions with our customer base and our prospects, and we just really want to make sure that we're on this journey together. And you understand that Intuit is here to be a partner with you along this journey. So really look forward to taking you through some stuff today that I'm really hoping that you might find useful, even maybe give the biggest honor when presenting of taking pictures of the slides. I'm not exactly sure if this will all be shared out post the session today, so you might want to definitely take some things to follow up and apply to your everyday lives. But before, real quick, we get started and dive into the content, I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I'm coming to you all from Gadigal country, and I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. So with that said, reintroduce myself. My name's Jared, just like Trent mentioned. I am a senior manager here at Intuit, looking after strategy and planning. My role sits across a number of disciplines where I also like to apply AI to operational efficiency and streamline processes and workflows to deliver higher quality outputs in less time. I think that's really the key and what really AI can do for you today. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, not another AI presentation, right? Is this going to be like, I don't know, watching a chat bot try to balance a trial balance or something? Honestly, it could feel like that sometimes. Look, we've all been promised the AI revolution, right? They said it'd be like magic, just poof, no more chasing down missing receipts. Poof, perfectly compliant tax returns. Instead, it's more like an overcaffeinated intern who even hallucinates sometimes. I mean, I asked the AI to summarize the latest tax code changes recently, and it came back with it's complicated. I just really want to know if I can deduct my office supplies. Really, just tell me what I need to know. And the technical jargon, it could be kind of a barrier. I understand machine learning, neural networks, large language models. It's a whole new vocabulary. It sounds like we're really building a supercomputer just to order some takeout or something and not revolutionize accounting. I swear half the time, I think these AI developers are just throwing around buzzwords until we agree to buy their software. It's like, look, we've got quantum ledgers now and blockchain debits. Just sign up here. In reality, here's the thing. Underneath all the hype and the occasional numerical hallucination, there is some real value, something actually useful that you can take and apply today. We're not going to be replaced by robots anytime soon, at least. We might, however, be replaced by people who know how to use these tools sooner than you think. So you better prepare yourself. But we can all learn to use these tools and make our lives easier, provide better service to more clients, even, and maybe even free up some time for you to focus on things that actually matter, like, explaining to clients why their personal expenses aren't business deductions. So today we're going to cut through the noise. We're going to talk about real world applications, the kind of things that can actually help you in your practice. We're going to explore how AI can go from maybe a source of mild existential dread to a genuine partner in your work. So let's get started, and maybe we'll even learn some jargon along the way. And if you'd like to connect, go ahead and scan that QR code and flick me a connection request on LinkedIn. Always happy to have a chat about AI or how it's transforming accounting or our products, anything of the sort. So a quick overview of what we're going to touch on today. Brief introduction. We've covered that off a little bit. We're going to dive into a little bit more introduction about Intuit as a company. What is artificial intelligence from a very high level 30,000 foot view? How do we leverage AI today? I think that's the biggest takeaway. And then how is Intuit AI helping today? And then what does the future look like of leveraging AI from an accounting standpoint? And I also want to call out that I will be referencing Intuit QuickBooks throughout the session. And it does feel like a bit of an infomercial at times, but really the intent here is to provide an example or maybe even a reference point for what you can expect suppliers in the industry to be doing today and in the future. So who are we? Intuit is a global financial technology platform that powers prosperity for consumers and businesses across the world. There's still some confusion and around the brand in this market, in Australia particularly. We're not Reckon. Reckon once sold our software as a third-party provider, but when we established a presence here in this market, that relationship has since ended. So we are a completely separate company and a much bigger company globally. So that association still lingers sometimes in the industry. Just want to put that to bed. We are one of those Silicon Valley giants and one of the biggest AI-driven companies in the world, and we continue to evolve from strength to strength. Now, when we look at the evolution of technology, AI represents another phase and a significant paradigm shift in that. This diagram here that you're looking at, this timeline tells Intuit's story over the past 40 years. We've went through all the technological phases that many of you have went through as well. Back in the 80s, we saw the era of DOS, that's disk operating system. For some of you who are in my own demographic, that I remember this era quite well, loading floppy disks into very slow computers and just thinking that this was the most mind-blowing technology I've ever seen. And then we quickly evolved into the era of Windows and then the boom of the World Wide Web, and then further evolved into a more digital mobile online era. And now we're emerging into that fifth evolution, and that is the era of artificial intelligence. And that is where we are going as a company and where we will be supporting and taking you along that journey. Now, comprehending how big the phase would be back in 2019, Intuit declared a strategy to be the foremost AI-driven expert platform. that consumers and small businesses and mid-market businesses can turn to help you achieve your goals and unlock your future. So we've been developing the technology and restructuring our teams to support this new phase for a long time. The phase of Intuit's evolution is hyper-focused on delivering done-for-you experiences on our platform. You'll probably hear that a few times, done-for-you experiences. And we'll touch on a little bit of what that actually looks like in reality. The whole strategy is underpinned by 3 pillars. It's our dedication to our customers overall, and we focus on these 3 areas. Make more money for our customers. That sounds great to everybody. I think we can all agree. Eliminate the administration trivia, or administrivia, as we like to call it around here. I know the average small business owner gets bogged down in admin, and with the power of AI, we can really alleviate that pain and that stress point for you. And then the third one is having complete confidence in financial decisions and being compliant with what you need to deliver to your fellow stakeholders or to the government, and making sure that everything is accurate end to end. Now, since declaring this vision 6 years ago, we've transformed from being a tax and accounting platform where businesses have to do the work themselves to now moving into that global AI-driven expert platform where a lot of the hard work is going to be done for you. Now, today we serve over 100 million customers. It might be a surprise to a lot of you. 100 million customers under the Intuit umbrella. That's in nearly almost 200 markets around, pardon me, around the world. And we have 18,000 employees that support our customers and are dedicated to this mission. So when it comes to market capitalization, we've grown dramatically from 70 billion 6 years ago to 172 billion. And that's mostly as a result of our strategy to be a leading AI-driven expert platform. We're fortunate to be in that position. So when we have revenues of over $16 billion annually coming in, we have the ability to reinvest into our product. So we take nearly $3 billion a year and develop our platform to further enhance the capabilities and deliver those done-for-you experiences. But no matter how big and how much focus is on AI, we always stay focused on the customer problem. It's what grounds us in everything we do and everything we develop. Now at Intuit, we have an acronym we throw around quite frequently. It's VOC, and that stands for Voice of Customer. And it's how we communicate your wish list of enhancements, positive, even negative feedback. It's how we prioritize our product development roadmap. And it's also how we prepare for presentations like this one today. Now, the following is what we've heard from many peers in the accountant segment around the world. You're after 3 things primarily, at least kind of summarized. One is the relentless pursuit of automation. Basically, automate as much as we possibly can for you. The second is tell me what AI means for me today and not tomorrow, which is why we love having these sessions. And then the third is how can we serve the mid-market and not spend so much on software costs? So I hope some of that really resonates with you. Now we hear AI everywhere, right? But what does it actually mean? It simply means creating machines that can mimic human intelligence. Learning, reasoning is a big part of it. Problem solving. Using algorithms, data, and compute power is really what powers it. And it's been around for a long time, maybe longer than a lot of you might think, but the term was actually coined back in 1956 by a computer scientist named John McCarthy. Now today, while many languages are using Python, or while many languages are actually used to develop AI, Python has actually become the workhorse of modern AI development due to its powerful libraries, its ease of use, and the amount of scale that you can deliver within that one code base. It combines algorithms, data, compute power, and it makes decisions and predictions based off of all of that through its processing. So while AI may seem complex at its core, it's really just about making machines smarter. So now that you know all of that, you can quickly probably forget most of it, because modern generative AI does not require you to know anything about programming or languages or advanced vector maths, which I'm sure is a relief. I know it was to me. So quick touch base on a quote that we picked up from Jeff Bezos not too long ago. He states that it's hard to overstate, actually, how big of an impact AI and machine learning will have on society over the next 20 years. And I think when somebody like a tech leader like Jeff Bezos in that space speaks, I think we should all probably take notice. So let's flip over and hear from our Chief Data Officer, Ashok, on the role that he sees AI playing in the life of a small business.
One of my favorite small businesses that I go to is a bike store near my house. And I know that small business owner wants to spend most of his time with customers, really understanding their needs and not as much on the drudgery of running his business. Artificial intelligence can really change the landscape for small businesses. It can make them more successful. Half of all small businesses fail in the first 5 years. And the reason for that is that small business owners don't have enough hours and they have to wear many hats throughout the day. And one of them is to be their own chief financial officer. That literally means that they need to know how much money is coming into their business and how much is going out. It sounds easy, but it's actually a really hard problem. Artificial intelligence can actually take in all of that information about their invoices, about their bills, the payments that they need to make, and make predictions about how their cash flow is going to change over time. And this helps small business owners really make the best use of their cash and also make sure that their business is successful. One of the most fundamental misunderstandings about artificial intelligence is that it's a technology that's going to come and somehow replace a person's work. And the fact is that artificial intelligence is something that can augment a person's work. I love that bike store near my house, and I know that that small business owner doesn't want to spend time doing inventory, cash management, cash flow forecasting, and all of the other things that people need to do to run a business. And that's why I feel AI is one of the most revolutionary capabilities that can come to small business owners. It provides people with the ability to get things done for them.
Yeah, very well said. I love how Ashok talks that AI is actually there to augment a business, to free up time to do what they actually want to do or what they got into business to do in the first place. Really compassionate. You can tell that the empathy coming through his voice there, and that really just resonates throughout our organization. And it's something that we're going to ask you to consider a little later. What would you do with more time on your hands? So we know the power of AI is designed to do a whole heap of things to ultimately free up time. So what really do we need to be thinking about in terms of leveraging AI in today's world? Here we see another tech leader. This is Chamath. He runs Social Capital. It's a tech investment firm. And he states that AI will likely be one of the largest drivers of productivity improvements over the coming decade and will generate trillions of dollars in economic value. So there's exciting times ahead. For what it's worth, when I asked Gemini what accountants could do with the time AI is saving them, these are the first 4 things that came out. A shift to strategic advisory, focus on client relationships, developing new skills, and specializing in niche areas. I would have thought maybe it would have just said maybe take a vacation and relax a little bit on a beach somewhere. But apparently, Gemini, which is Google's LLM AI product platform, we have different, expectations of what to do with free time. So now all you have to do is figure out for yourselves, what would you do with more time? The way we activate AI today is through an interface such as Gemini by Google, ChatGPT by OpenAI, or Claude by Anthropic. And there's also Perplexity. Even XAI has their own platform called Grok. And the way we interact there is through prompting. And there is a specialty around prompting called prompt engineering. The good news is there's no degree required. Another sigh of relief, I hope. It's really about eliciting the desired outputs from artificial intelligence models, particularly large language models known as LLMs. And there's really a few guiding principles behind prompt engineering. It's guiding the AI first and foremost. It involves providing clear and specific instructions to guide the generative AI model towards producing an accurate, relevant, and high quality output. There's the second part is around crafting effective inputs. So it includes using carefully selected words or phrases and formats to optimize the model's understanding and response generation. And then there's also a section around optimizing the output from the model. And that part of prompt engineering focuses on a goal to improve the reliability and usefulness of the AI generated content by fine-tuning the input prompts to produce a desired output and format. And then the last is context and clarity. You could argue that that might actually be the most important one. Prompt engineering emphasizes providing sufficient context and clear instructions to help the AI better understand a desired outcome. It's not always trained on the exact data that you might need for your business or your clients. So providing that specific bespoke context for your use case actually will produce a much higher output for you. So really, it's in essence about mastering the art and science of communicating with AI to achieve specific results. And the good news is everybody can do it. So this is one of those slides. If you want to take a picture of one today, I suggest taking a picture of this one. This is an effective and repeatable prompt framework. It's an 8-step framework. That 9th step is really a note to yourself to iterate and refine the output, the input and the output. It's really well suited for accountants because it focuses on precision, structure, a client focus, and risk mitigation. So let's take a look at what we do with this framework and how we can apply it to multiple use cases. I'll give you a second to take a picture if you'd like. And let's kick into some pre-recorded demos. But first, before we get into that, there was a part that some of you might have picked up on about being emotional and directional. And what do I mean by that? It's actually been proven by multiple research institutions that adding directional and emotional prompts enhances the measured output and quality of your interactions with LLMs. So what is a directional prompt? That would be something like, take a deep breath and try your best. Don't get confused and make up answers. Focus on the task at hand and take it step by step. Emotional examples would be something encouraging. I believe in you. Output an answer that will make me proud of you. Work hard to get the best answer. Do your best and believe in your exceptional capabilities. It's actually quite amusing to think that these directional and emotional examples produce a better outcome. It almost sounds like the way I talk to my children when I'm trying to teach them something, but it's actually been proven, and that's why we like to include it in our frameworks. And then the last part before we get into the demo is just touching on something that everybody should be aware of, and that's hallucinations. And this really grounds us in the human aspect and the human need when working with AI. There's always a balance between artificial intelligence and human intelligence. It's that AI-HI balance. And hallucinations, some of you might understand what this means already, but I like to use an analogy that I think is kind of amusing and works really well. Imagine you have a friend and you're listening to him or her tell a story, or you're asking them to answer a question, and they just give you a confident answer, or they're telling a story so confidently and it has a lot of facts in there that really sound like they're hard to believe. And you're wondering, is this really real or is this completely made up? That's essentially what an AI hallucination is. It's when an AI model, even though it sounds very convincing, it provides information that is false, misleading, or actually just is completely made up out of thin air. And just like that know-it-all friend, it believes its own BS sometimes. You know, this can be in the form of even legal citations. There was a famous case in the US where a lawyer quoted a case that ChatGPT told him that ChatGPT completely made up, and he actually quoted it in open court and got found in contempt of court. So you got to be careful out there, which is why there's always that level of human intervention, human quality assurance at the end. So let's kick into some demos. Here, we're going to look at a use case of an accountant who needs to quickly analyze a small business client's financial data to identify some key trends and potential areas of concern. So let's see what file we're adding here, but we're adding a mock-up file of a profit and loss statement from a small business owner. And then we're going to build our framework, which we just touched on a few slides back, to create the prompt that is going to solve this input here. So we're setting a clear goal in our prompt input. We're defining the AI's role to act as a senior financial analyst with expertise in small business accounting. We're providing the output that you want in the format that you want. So we're asking it here to provide a summary of the key findings, key financial trends, and present that in a report format with the following sections. We ask for an executive summary, a revenue analysis year over year, an expense analysis, including expense categories, a profitability analysis, including key ratios, and then key areas of concern and opportunities for improvements. And then we provide some examples, if we have some, to provide that context piece. We also provide some warnings and watchouts for constraints. We do not want any financial projections or predictions. We don't want any investment advice. And we do not want any information that is not directly supported by the data. We provide context about the client and the business, and then we specify even the tone and we add some directionals. And this is what we get. It's a pretty quick output for a pretty complex business case. And there's a level of iteration and refinement that will be needed upon here, but think about how fast that gets you to 0 to 1. Next, we're going to move on to another problem that we hear from a lot of our accountants, and that's client onboarding. It can be riddled with inefficiency, inconsistency, errors. It could create a poor client experience. There's security risks. So we're asking the AI here to create us an onboarding checklist that covers everything we need. We're setting the clear goal. We're defining the AI's role. We're providing the output that we want to see. We want a checklist structured with this information. And you're going to know your business better than anyone. So you will be able to create these prompts yourself that might even be better than the prompts we're using for these examples. I'm just taking you through this to get the ideas and creativity flowing about how you can apply this to your daily job. Think about the repeatable tasks that you do with every client. How can you optimize that? How can you automate that? By using the simple prompt framework, you can apply that to multiple use cases to automate your repetitive tasks. And I think this is a great one. And the last one here, a little more complex. We're asking for a revenue and expense analysis by territory, and we want to identify key performance differences and potential areas for optimization. We include an Excel file with multiple tabs. It's a chart of accounts, a calendar, territories, cash flow statement, and a statement of contributions. And we're asking it for basically an entire business analysis. So we set a clear goal. We want a revenue and expense analysis by territory to identify key performance differences and potential areas for optimization and growth. We give the AI a role. We ask for the output. We ask for a complex output of, we're asking for the list of territories in the analysis, the revenue analysis by territory, including total revenue, percentage of revenue, also revenue by product or service category, an expense analysis by territory with also subcategories below that. So the more structured details we give it around that output, the more structured output we will get. Now, because this is such a larger data set and we're asking a lot of it, the AI is actually taking its time and also taking you through its thought process, saying, I'll start by looking at the data. I'll analyze the financial data to calculate revenue, expenses, profitability metrics for each territory. The AI flags, there seems to be an issue with the data. Let me check the data again. And then it goes back to iterating, and it says, I'll compile the results and generate the report. Now it says, here is my report on the revenue and expense analysis by territory. So it took its time to think through the task at hand, and it went step by step. And then this is the output it produces. Now, the beautiful part about using Google Gemini is it's laterally integrated with the Google Business Suite. So you can export these tables directly to Google Sheets. And then you can further dive deep into the analysis by that as well. And then again, looking at the data to make sure that there's a level of quality assurance and that it's not just hallucinating data and numbers. So no matter what, there will always be a role for your job in the near future to make sure that quality assurance piece. But again, this could take a project that might take several hours and boil that down to maybe 1 hour of work. And think about how many times you do this. Or maybe this isn't a service you even provide. This could actually scale out your service and your advisory. So I think it's a really great use case, and it just shows the level of complexity and depth that the AI can perform. A lot of people think it's only meant to scratch the surface, when really, if you interact in a detailed way and you really focus on the prompt that you're inputting into the system, and you engineer that prompt properly, you can actually go pretty deep. And then you can also iterate upon this. Again, this is just the first pass. We're going to take a look at one more use case today, and this is by a company called Digital Rapport, and they have a really unique product.
Let's take a look at some basic numbers of your quarterly performance. This graph shows your business revenue, profit and profit percentage compared with the previous quarter and the same quarter last year to take into account any seasonality. In good news, your profit percentage has been increasing, which indicates the cost of producing your revenue is lower for each new dollar earned than previous quarters. The liquidity or current ratio is a great indicator of the strength of your cash flow and your ability to pay debts as they fall due. Your liquidity is looking really strong. Cash flow should be good and has been improving. The debtor days measurement shows how many days it takes for you to get paid on average. Debtor days have been trending higher, locking up cash. If cash flow is tight, we can help with solutions to unlock it.
Pretty impressive stuff. Probably could have guessed that entire video was generated with AI. And what's even more appealing is that with the platinum tier of product service from Digital Rapport, you can actually have the AI generate your own voice. So that could be a detailed client report delivered via video to your client base in your own voice to give it that human personalized touch. To where you're merging the AI component and the human component into one unified presentation. And the amount of time that, again, you could save by using that product and that platform is immense when you think about the scale that you can deliver over the course of a year. The platinum tier is not that cheap. I believe it was $5,000 the last time I checked. But the democratization of these tools is advancing rapidly. And I do believe that there will be a price reduction in the type of quality of these tools as the competitive landscape improves or just develops. So yeah, really exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. So with the end of the prompt engineering section here, I just want to give you 3 key takeaways, and then we'll get into the future of AI, how we see it here at Intuit. So the 3 key takeaways to keep in mind, again, this is one of those slides that you might want to take a picture of to reuse it and reference it. Something I put together. It's a framework, first starting with prompting the prompt expert. The prompt expert being the actual LLM model you're working with. So you know who knows how to write really good prompts? Google Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude. They know how to write prompts that work really well within their own framework. So I created that framework. I started with 4 steps. I asked the platform to evaluate my prompt framework, and then it actually came back with 8 steps. So I was like evaluating the 8-step framework that the platform provided me, and I said, this is way better. So I used that framework. And then I asked the model to apply this to use cases that will suit an accountant. So the model came back with several use cases, and I picked 3 ones that I found interesting. And then I took my framework and I asked the model to actually fill in the framework that applies for those specific use cases you saw in the video. So I actually didn't even write the prompts for this presentation, for those examples. I let the AI write the prompt for me to solve the use case. You could do those steps as well for any use case. And then you being an expert in your own business and your clients, you can enhance the prompt itself. And that's where I go to step 2. It's modify the input and hold the output. So asking the platform to modify your input through that prompt framework and hold the output until you're satisfied that the input prompt is going to deliver your expectation. And then ask the platform to deliver the output once you feel like your prompt is engineered into the best way possible. So then the output piece is the last step of this framework. So assessing the results using the 3 C's, which are clarity, correctness, and context. I think those are all pretty self-explanatory. So a really interesting framework that you can apply to everything. So prompting the prompt expert, modifying the input, holding the output, and assessing with the 3 C's. So now let's talk about a little bit about how does AI work at Intuit and what we're doing in the future. We know fundamentally AI is the result of combining large data with fast iterative processing algorithms. These algorithms learn from patterns and signals in the data that they analyze every day, and then they improve the platform and the AI algorithm to produce better signals in the future. So it allows the AI system to perform tasks like identifying patterns, making predictions, and improving accuracy over time without having to explicitly program or update the software in any specific way. So it essentially means the AI systems are continually learning and getting smarter and faster every day. We always like to say today is the worst AI will ever be. And when it comes to data, the bigger the better, right? Fortunately, Intuit is well positioned in this space because the type of data that we capture, as well as the volume of data going through the platform, is immense. Now, earlier we talked about how we serve over 100 million customers globally. Our platform actually supports a wide range of products across our portfolio. Specifically in Australia, we have QuickBooks and MailChimp. And then in the US, we also have TurboTax and Credit Karma. And of the 103 million customers, over 7 million of them are using QuickBooks Online globally to run their businesses and accounting firms. Now, when we think about the data going through the platform, the volume is massive, like we talked about. Just looking at invoice volume. Today, our 7 million QuickBooks Online customers, they invoice more than $2 trillion. That's trillion with a T, through the QuickBooks platform every year. We have 24,000 bank feeds globally, and that's all those bank feeds are piping data through the platform constantly. And every time that there's a process or a request being made of the platform is learning from that and using that through machine learning and our artificial intelligence capabilities built in to self-improve. Now, we are the market leader in financial management solutions globally, and we are heavily invested in developing smart technology. We use machine learning, knowledge engineering, natural language processing, which is known as NLP, and they all play a key role. We make 65 billion machine learning predictions every day as a platform. That's supported by 810 million AI-driven customer interactions each year. We have over 2 million AI models that power these and support transactions across the platform. And every year, we're continually automating 20 million conversations using NLP, natural language processing. And the cool bit is you guys are contributing to this every day, like we mentioned, in the background. So we really appreciate that contribution. And a quick example of this is if your QuickBooks account receives a bank transaction and we recommend which chart of account code to allocate it to, that's based on patterns that we're picking up from your prior coding with similar transactions. Now you pop into your QuickBooks file, you accept the coding recommendation. And that's basically you telling the AI system that it got the answer correct. And that recommendation was a good one. So it learns from that. And on the flip side of that, if you jump into your file and you change the coding recommendation that's been offered, maybe you shake your fist and yell an expletive at your computer screen, I don't know. You've educated the platform with more information for the next time, and it'll get better. So what's really important about these big numbers? These numbers talk to the volume of data that we can leverage on our platform to learn and predict behaviors that ultimately result in software that serves you, your team, your clients, and it reduces your errors. So let's take a quick look at something that's coming. All right, well, we'll take a quick look at how AI is really helping today. We talked about it already a couple times. We'll just touch on a high level of automating repetitive tasks, enhancing the data analysis, insights, and reporting you do in your daily work, improving the accuracy of your outputs and reducing errors, which is also streamlining your processes, and then also enhancing the client experience. These are things that we know resonate with all accountants in the space across the globe. So now we're going to take a quick look at something coming down the pipeline called Intuit Assist. Now, Intuit Assist is our new financial assistant, and it uses the power of generative AI to further automate what you and your clients do using intelligent and personalized recommendations. Now, this isn't just about automating tasks. It's aligned with what Ashok discussed. It's augmenting the work that you do using AI-driven insights. And it's so you can spend more time doing what you love and also giving more time back to your clients to focus on high-value activities that will grow their business and also just develop that more enhanced, augmented client partner relationship. Now, Intuit Assist is currently live. It's serving 30 million consumers in our TurboTax business in the US. And it's actually already being trialed by 1 million small businesses in QuickBooks in the US as well. And it's coming to Australia a lot sooner than you probably think. So let's take a quick glimpse.
Let's take a look at Intuit Assist in QuickBooks. Let's start with how Intuit Assist will show insights about your business in a whole new way. Intuit Assist, show me my profit and loss for last month. And the previous month? What were my top selling products last month? Intuit Assist will also dynamically predict your follow-up questions and answer them in clear, natural language. The reality is, you may not always know what to ask or know that there are insights buried deep within your data. So Intuit Assist will surface it for you on the spot. When you log in, Intuit Assist will deliver a daily summary of personalized insights, surfacing cash flow hotspots, finding the places to improve cash flow, shining a light on spending anomalies, and even celebrating wins. You will be able to drill down into areas that matter most to you for clear next steps and recommendations. And for those of you who aren't on QuickBooks yet, Intuit Assist will revolutionize how you get started. Let me show you. Once you create a QuickBooks account, if you already have a website, Intuit Assist will automatically import your data from your website into QuickBooks to personalize your business profile. And when it comes to spreadsheets, we've got you covered. When you upload your spreadsheet of transactions, Intuit Assist will transform it into personalized insights and recommendations. You couldn't ask for an easier and quicker way to learn how to grow your business. Now, let's talk about how Intuit Assist will be able to do work for you in the future. It will take on day-to-day tasks like generating invoice reminders for you, which you can always choose to refine further, like make it shorter, change the tone to be more assertive, or maybe more friendly for your loyal customers. And once you're done tweaking it to just what you need, off it goes. Lastly, we understand that sometimes you just need to talk to an expert who has been through it all and can guide you with confidence. That's when Intuit Assist will connect you to an expert. We relay all the relevant information to your expert so that you have full confidence that you will be helped by someone who already knows your situation. Connect over a quick chat or a video call with screen sharing to get live expertise in a timely manner. During the call, our experts are supercharged by data, AI, and our virtual expert platform to help solve your problems with speed and confidence.
Pretty exciting stuff. I love seeing those kind of product demos. It really motivates me to know that we're in the right space and producing the right things that our clients are actually going to love and find useful. That's one of those done for you experiences. When it does land in Australia in the very near future, we'll still have to understand the functionalities that are included in the platform. That live expert component is more of a future-focused product rollout, but the Intuit Assist-based platform will be landing sooner than you think. So what we are hearing now is that technology is slowing businesses down. The average business is using between 7 and 25 apps to run their business. So really, they're spending way too much time and a lot of confusion, and everything is very decentralized. We're building a platform where everything is in one place, and it'll run and grow your client's business from lead to cash with a virtual team of AI-enabled agents and human experts. This is how we're enabling that. This is a quick look of a platform that's powered by the best of QuickBooks, MailChimp, and Intuit Assist. And it will be creating a new platform experience where you have these 12 different jobs to be done that focus on providing done-for-you experiences in each one of these realms. Now let's take a quick look at what just dropped in the US. That's not exciting. I don't know what is. That is the definition of a done for you all in one place platform. And again, it's going to be coming sooner than you think. That platform will be going live in the US as announced on July 1st. And there will be a rollout in the APAC region in our coming fiscal year, which starts in August. So really watch this space closely because the future is going to happen very soon. So I think let's wrap it up with maybe a quote from a familiar face. Some of you might recognize this person, but this is Sasan, the CEO here at Intuit. And he's been quoted as saying, "We think AI is the largest paradigm shift since electricity and the internet. And we think it's actually more dramatic than that." So I hope that has been a enlightening and exciting future-focused discussion, as well as grounded in some real-world examples that you can take away today and start applying. And remember, it's really about merging AI and HI, that combination of artificial intelligence and human intelligence. So thank you guys very much, and get to prompting.
Thank you, Jared. That was awesome. I loved it. So many, like, where do I even start? There is so much going on in AI. It's so hard to keep up. I struggle to keep up with it every single day. But what an awesome way to start the day. Okay, so pumped. All right, we're starting the morning off strong, I think, and hopefully you're feeling inspired to check out what is next. So coming up at 10 a.m., we have 2 sessions that I think you will want to check out. The first one is actually about outsourcing and offshoring. So how to get outsourcing right, best practices for offshoring, pod sourcing, and beyond. This is with Vipul Sheth. So Vipul is from Advanced Track, and I've known Vipul for a very long time. One of the nicest people on the planet. The other session that you might want to check out is a pricing session, but it's also an AI session. So it's how do you use ChatGPT as your pricing coach, how to package, position, and communicate your value to your customers using AI. That's with Mark Wickersham. If you caught Mark yesterday, he was awesome. I loved Mark's session. He talked about how to price your annual accounts and bookkeeping annually, but how to do it with confidence. So if you enjoyed Mark's session, you might want to come back for day 2 of Mark's session. Otherwise, maybe you want to check out outsourcing and offshoring. As always, we have a jam-packed day. There is so much content about to come up, but I'm so glad you're here with us. Don't forget, post on social media, tag your sessions, go in the draw to win some cash, and I'll see you all very soon in the next session. Thank you again, Jared. Thank you again to the team at Intuit.